Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And we've got a lot of people joining, and we'll continue to have a lot of people joining. I'm really excited to be here with Reid and to celebrate Louise's birthday with all of you. Um, and let's see. And Terry, we can, yeah, if you want, you can put Reid and I on the screen when you're ready. And then there we go. And then
It's, I think there we
there we
go.
go. All right, good. All right. So let's just like dive right in, shall we? Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. I appreciate you being here with us. As we typically do in these Zoom gatherings, we have the chat off for now so that we're not distracted by that. We'll turn it on at some point because you might have questions for myself or Reid. Reid is the publisher and CEO of Hay House. You've been around a long time, Reid. How long now?
Yeah, I've been all right. I've been at Hay House for 37 years. So I started when I was 25 years old, and Louise started Hay House in 1987, so 38 years ago. So I've been here all but 1 year. So
And I love the story. We just have to start with the story of what Louise says when she finally, I think, had she done Donahue and Oprah before you joined or after? I forget.
yeah, so she did Donnie and Oprah in March 1988, and that's when she so the business took off, as you can imagine, and she came across the hall. There was a CPA firm that I worked at, and she said, like everything's taking off. What do I do now? Because Louise, she had someone helping her run the business, but it was like they needed more help, and then. They basically assigned me and a couple other people to kind of work with Hay House. And so I did that. I went over there and then,
But wait a
ev-
minute, wait a minute. She tells a story that so she has that conversation with them, decides she's going to hire somebody, and she thought they hired some guy.
yeah, what happened was I worked with them with a CPA, and then in August they decided like, oh, we're gonna hire an accountant, like a financial director to help run it in the house because it's expensive, as you know, like to hire CPAs and pay them for everything. And then my very, very first day at Hay House. So Louise was traveling all over, just like you, Cheryl, like going, giving speeches. It's not like she was sitting there interviewing people. She had a president, Linda, and she like hired me, but I was in the office my first day, and Louise was back from giving her talks. And she comes in and she goes, "Oh, who are you?" And I go, "Oh, I'm Reid. I'm the new financial director." And she literally, she looks at me and she goes, "Oh, I thought we hired the other guy." And that was my start at Hay House. And already it was a big stretch to go to Hay House because, like I wasn't into metaphysical or I didn't know really anything about it. And she's saying, like, my thoughts create your life and you can heal yourself with your thinking and like all this weird stuff. And then, like all my friends thought I was crazy. The partner at the CPA firm goes like if you don't want to stay being a CPA, like you're good at it and we'll keep you, but we have all these other clients that are big, like we have these giant construction companies and all these movie producers and like they go, look, a lot of those guys would be happy to hire you. And I go, I know, but I think I like, she believes this crazy stuff, but she really believes it, and she just wants to help people and do it. So I think I'll give it a try, like, and I never thought I'd be there 37 years. Like I just was like making a step like out and all that sort of thing. And as a CPA, like no one wants to hear from you because you're always telling them like they owe money in taxes or they pay you to do an audit that you don't want to pay for or all that. And so I was just wanting to go deeper with the companies. But it's so weird because now my daughter Ava works at Hay House and she's 26. And so it's so weird to like see like how young I was and like
Yeah.
and at 27 is when I started being in charge of Hay House when I was 27 years old. So like ever since then, like always, like we traveled all over the world together doing stuff with Louise. So
No, I know. Do you remember the day that we were on the cruise and you asked me if I wanted to write the book with Louise?
yeah, I do.
I can't
Yeah.
remember, was it an Alaska cruise, I
I
think?
think it was Alaska,
I think it
yeah.
was Alaska because I can remember like where we're sitting we were sitting by a window on the ship having lunch. I was eating a sandwich when you're like, "Hey, what do you think about writing a book with Louise?" And I'm like, "Louise who?" Like
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I love about you. One of the many things I love about you. You and I, first of all, share like a financial accounting background. So I feel like we had this common language between us that a
Yeah.
lot of authors didn't have. And so we were always like very entrepreneurial and coming up with business ideas and things like that. And you're so incredibly creative and out of the box from, traditional publishers. I mean, Hay House is like such a great entrepreneurial company compared to all the other publishers who are very slowly becoming one.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all going together these
Yeah.
days. So
But I remember you asking me, and I can't remember, had you even talked to Louise about it yet?
no, I just had the idea, so I asked you first,
Yes,
so
that's
because
right.
obviously I couldn't do it if you didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Right, because then I remember thinking, oh my God. So then I said, yes, of course I would do that. I have no idea what that's going to look like, but I would do it. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to talk to Louise. And then, of course, I'm walking around going, is Louise going to want to write a book with me? And I'm waiting and waiting. And, you, God bless you, like got the answer right away because you knew I would be nervous. And Louise, so one of the things I did in preparation for this celebration with you is I went back, I have a Louise mailbox in my email.
Yeah,
I have emails going all the way back to whenever. And she was so incredibly gracious. I found an email where she wrote to me and said, "Darling, I
yeah.
understand we're going to be writing a book together. And I want you to know I'm very excited about this and I'm at your mercy. Do whatever you want to do. You lead me essentially is what she was saying. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do here? Um,
That
but
sounds like Louise.
yeah, it was. And so we embarked on this journey of traveling and well, kind of like I put in the newsletter, when Louise and I first met, it was that Toronto hotel. I was in her room and I remember we were looking out at this beautiful view because she always liked big sky views, right? She
Yeah.
always said that. She would never live in a house that didn't have a big sky view. She wanted a big sky view. And we were sitting at the window and, I could tell she was kind of just checking me out and, trying to get a sense of who I was. And we were just getting to know each other. And she kept saying to me, my dear, I trust life will tell us exactly what we're supposed to write. And so I hit record and I recorded all the conversations. I still have all those recordings.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yep, yep. And so many times where we would just get together, I'd hit record and we'd have conversations. And then I began to see a book, come to life. And I began to get a sense of the book coming to life. Um, and so now, it was bittersweet when I was recording the audio. I was working with Jen and Steve. I don't know if they're here. If you are Jen and Steve, because I told them, I said, if you can come to the Zoom, come.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so my audio engineer and producer is Steve Morris, who I've worked with, I mean, Steve's been with the company a long time, Reid, right?
Yeah, since Hay House Radio, so
Yep.
I don't know,
He was
like
my
20 years
Yeah,
maybe.
he was my producer for the radio show. I love him. He's an unbelievable guitar player and was in a
Yeah,
metal band called Unwritten Law, like a
yeah,
very successful metal band. I was like always really excited that my producer was like this kick-ass metal
yeah.
guitar player. And his wife Jen works with him, which I love that, by the way, Reid, that you let husband and wife teams work together if they work well together.
Yeah.
I hope you do. I hope I didn't just like blow a cover.
No, we definitely do. Like, obviously, we know.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, the both of them worked on the audio with me, and as we started, I realized that I didn't want to just read the book. I wanted to be able to read the book, but also add in any stories or add in any, especially emphasizing some of the teaching or some of the things that were important to Louise based on our conversations.
Yeah.
And Steve and Jen were like the perfect people. I'm like, what other books can I read for you guys? Working
I
with them.
love it.
Yeah, I love them so much. And so we recorded it together, and there were times where I'm going to say this out loud, Steve and Jen, that one piece of recording where we had the laughing fit, you have to erase that. Do not play that for Reid. There was this one, there were times where, how like you're working, I'm reading something and I trip over something, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden it just turns into a comedy skit, and we're recording this. And then I have to go back and be serious and try to record, and I can't. So we had some of those, and we had some tearful moments because there's a few things that I wrote about in the book where I changed the names of people. I respected privacy, and because some of those people aren't with us, I was
Yeah.
able to then talk about the reality of what was going on while I was meeting with Louise at the time. And anyway, it was a lot of fun. It was a great project for you, a great gift for you to give me. And yeah, I thought, I would mention there's a couple of things I picked up emails. Is there anything you want to say though before I?
Yeah, well, one thing is on the Hay House YouTube channel, we have recordings of you and Louise together up there. I don't know if you've seen them.
I haven't seen.
Um, I mean, I know you knew so there's some up there, like clips of them, like 30 minutes of you guys on
Yeah, was
stage.
that when we were in London?
There's a couple different ones you'll see them on there that's awesome. Like, I was watching them, like we just put it up like last week. I was watching them, and
Okay.
they're really good. And you remember you guys did that whole thing, and Louise used to carry like all the stuff in her bra, and she'd start pulling it out and talking to you about
I
them.
forget what was it? I can't remember what it was that would trigger that. Like one of the first conversations. Do you remember, Reed? Like I think we
I
would.
don't remember, like she, like part of it, like I don't know, she always had like you guys would start talking and then she would pull stuff out and you would like be cracking up. Like you're like, what the
Yeah,
heck?
it was something like, all right, so Terry, do me a favor, open the chat in case like Donna, I see Shannon's on here. There may be some other people from Hay House or who worked with Hay House that will remember. So I can't remember what happened the first time, but I was talking about something related to self-care. And I may have said something like wanting a cup of tea or like a certain kind of tea. And Louise reached into her bra and pulled out the tea bag.
Yeah.
And I said to her, "Oh my God, I can't believe you had that tea bag in your bra." And she said something like, "Oh my dear, I keep plenty of things in here." And she would pull out like a Kleenex. Oh yeah, somebody says I remember she pulled out ketchup one time. Yes, because happened was it became a thing with us. So that
Yeah.
when we would travel around, all of a sudden, Louise, like some of the stuff she pulled out of her bra, I couldn't. Oh, yeah, she would pull out umbrellas that she would go to the bar and she would get the little umbrellas that they would put into cocktails and she would stick those in her bra. And then in the middle of our teaching, she would, pull one of them out and start joking around. And oh my God, that was very funny. She was so funny.
Yeah. I mean, you guys were great. That's why it's cool to watch those videos. Like, I haven't seen it in so long, but
Yeah.
it's
You
very
know,
cool.
somebody sent me a clip. I think it was Rachel sent me a clip from the London workshop we did, which she and I did a weekend workshop in London that was probably one of the most extraordinary workshops I've ever been at with her. And oh, that's the one. I think you turned that into a DVD, didn't you, Reed?
I think we have a DVD, but I don't remember if it's from London. Like, I mean, we have the
I
thing of
think
you
it
guys
is.
together. Yeah.
Okay. We need like a current person from Hay House who's like going to remember the stuff that you and I should know that we don't, right?
But
But
they're all on there on our YouTube. Like we put them up there. So like all the videos of you guys, if they're not there yet, they will be there like in the future. So we're put like they have we have morning rituals that work with you guys up here. And then we have there's a couple different ones of you two up here on here, but we're putting all the different ones up here
yeah, yeah, I
of
think it
of
was
the
London.
top.
I think because I had a red dress on. Did you see me with a red dress?
Here I
I
can
think
look
that was
at.
one of the London ones. And I think that's DVD was called You Can Trust Your Life, that video
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
workshop. Yeah. That is like a classic. I think we might have done tapping in that workshop. Oh, I just lost you, Reid. You're muted. Let's see. How did
Oh,
you?
there we go. It's you with the red dress. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's our London workshop.
Yeah.
So Louise and I did, okay, so I'm going to tell you a story from that London workshop. I think it's on the workshop, and I'm going to swear, I'm just warning everybody ahead of time because this was a shocker. So we taught a 2-day workshop. There was a part in the workshop where people would come up to the microphone and ask questions, and I would do coaching, and Louise would do her beautiful magic. And I'll never forget, I'm going to get the details wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's on this DVD. This young man came up. He was such a sweetheart. Thank you, Reid. He was such a sweetheart. And he came up to the microphone and he was an artist. And he started talking about how important his art was to him and how he was raised by a father who was really tough and thought his art was a big waste of time. And, his father wanted him to get a real job. And so he was telling us all the details about how harsh his father was and how every time he would go to see him for dinner, his father would just have nothing, wasn't supportive at all about his art. And Louise is listening so intently, like she would.
Yeah.
She had this kind of energy field about her. Yes, somebody's remembering this. And all of a sudden, if I remember correctly, she got up and like walked over to where he was. And she said to him, she said something like, and again, I'm going to get this wrong, but it's the gist of it is accurate. She said to him, it sounds like your father was very difficult. And he said, yes. And I think he might have even been crying or something. And she might have taken out a mirror, as she often did. And she said to him, okay, I want you to just take a deep breath and I want you to look into the mirror and I want you to imagine that your father is there. And the young man sort of dried his eyes and looked into the mirror and she said, now, I'd like you to say the following to your father. And the man says, yes. And she says, fuck you. Everybody, there was like this moment of silence and everybody like stopped for a moment. And then everybody cracked up laughing and he started saying, fuck you to the mirror. And it was, she was talking about the importance of being able to get the anger up and out of his body. And, she would do that every now and then. It was so rare because she was such an elegant, stately woman. I'm sure you heard her do that, Reid, right?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, you never knew what Louise was gonna say or when she was gonna say it.
You
So
never knew. It was kind of dangerous and in a good way. But that, I always remember her in that workshop was pretty incredible. And I
yeah,
also,
well, that's the link I put in the chat is for that. So that it's 45 minutes of it is on YouTube.
oh,
So
good. Okay, great.
so
That's
it's you two together right there. So
great. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. So I was looking back over some of our notes when we were uh she's so funny. So I had sent her some questions. I just wanted when I was first like thinking about the book, I said, Lulu, I'm going to send you some questions. We used to call her Lulu. And can you do me a favor and can you just answer them? So I'm going to read some of them because I know if she were here, she would be okay with that.
yeah, definitely.
I said to her, Lulu, what challenges have you faced with aging? And she says, oh, goodness, all of them, I think. Wrinkles, weight gain, stiffness, hair loss, Young men no longer look longingly at me. I said, how have you made peace with these challenges? I made a decision to do so. No use making myself miserable about something I can't change. I cannot change. She did not speak in contractions. Louise always spoke in full. Decide to love myself no matter how my body looks. Say affirmations like, you look fabulous, my dear. What a great body you have, and it serves you so well. Which reminds me, Louise used to always have this exercise. She would talk about this at some of the Miraval retreats we did, where she would say to the women in the room, if you don't believe that your thoughts influence your world, have an effect on your world, the next time you're walking down a busy street, say to yourself over and over again, I'm beautiful and everybody loves me. I'm beautiful and everybody loves me. And watch, heads will start to turn. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I
Um,
love that.
Yep, she says, as I look for professionals, I'm also looking for professionals who know how to maintain my body at top optimum level. I'm working with a nutritionist. I have an acupuncturist that I go to once a month for a general tune-up. I exercise with a good Pilates yoga practitioner. I have a terrific facialist who uses only organic products and the latest treatments that are not harmful to my body. She said, I have had plastic surgery in the past, but those days are gone. I choose to rely on natural products and treatments now. I get massages and body work on a regular basis, and I read about all of the latest health recommendations.
So,
Then I said to her, what do you think about aging now that you're 84? So she was 84 at the time. Oh, that's terrific, she says. I'm so pleased to have the energy I do, to be able to live the life I do, to have the fabulous friends I have, to have cultivated the mental outlook I have so that I see life from the most positive advantage. Um, I ha this positive, loving, grateful, joyous outlook attracts to me the best life. This is the best decade of my life so far. So then I said, well, how has your curiosity about life and people served you with aging? And she says, I don't really understand this question. So she doesn't answer it.
yeah.
And then, how has life gotten easier and how has it gotten harder? Life is much easier because I have learned how to anticipate life and how to respond to the experiences I have. My very positive affirmations go before me, smoothing the way. I try to anticipate what I would like to experience in my future. Um, for instance, today I left the house to do 3 errands. I said to myself, this is a glorious day and every experience is a joyous adventure. I can just hear her voice, right?
Yeah.
As I entered each of the 3 different stores, I found lovely salespeople making friendly conversation with me. In one store, the clerk and I laughed and laughed over something silly. These were each a small, joyous adventure. The other thing I've learned is how to sidestep others' negative responses to incidents. If someone is having a rotten day because of the weather, I say to myself, it may be true for you, but it's not true for me. I'm happy it's raining, and I'm happy it is raining, and I know all the plants are happy to get this extra water. Harder, it's not as easy to get out of an automobile as it used to be. Because she had a tiny smart car.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
I have to pay attention to more to my body, to how I treat it and what I put in it. I must do my morning exercises and choose food that nourishes my cells. The junk food days are over, and my body loves that. Oh,
Yeah, like she had a Mini Cooper, and we gave it like we had a drawing for Hay House employees that had been there for like more than X amount of years, and Lupe won it. Who's like she? So at our office right now in Carlsbad, only me and Lupe are here. Like everyone's remote now.
yeah.
So they're not, but she always brings it and she still has like the Lulu license plate and everything on it.
He does, huh?
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
very
so
cool.
Lupe's still with you, huh?
Yeah, so Lupe drives that car every once, like every week it's here, like Lulu's car.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so it was cool that she got it, and
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Louise would be really happy about that, you know?
Yeah.
Um, let me see.
But
Jo-
yeah, she used to have like when you visit her house, she used to put up like affirmations everywhere. Like it wasn't just like in her books or anything. Like
Yep.
she would have them in her bedroom, in her bathroom, in the hallway, and they would be all different because she would switch them up for whatever she was
Yes.
working on and all that sort of thing. So
I remember being at her house and going into the bathroom, and she always had affirmations right across from the toilet.
yeah, I know she used to have them everywhere. Like it was
She had them
crazy.
in her car. I remember she and I were going someplace, um, and on the shifter of her car, it said, "Smile in my liver."
Oh my God, yeah. So she did them all over. I mean, I don't think I ever saw one in the car, but that
Yep.
was,
Yep.
it doesn't surprise me.
I said to her, "What is this smile in my liver?" She said, "It just reminds me to smile and to imagine my liver smiling. It's really good for my liver." And I thought, "You're amazing." Like,
Yeah, I
she
know.
really did walk her talk. She had stuff everywhere all the time. It was quite amazing. She could be a little feisty too, Reid.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
found I found a few emails, as I'm sure you have some. I remember when we were trying to title the book, we originally called You Can Create an Exceptional Life, You Can Trust Your Life. But then Louise sent an email saying, "Hi, I've given this a lot of thought, this title. The more I think about the current title of our book, You Can Trust Your Life, the less I like it. First of all, what does it mean? Why should they trust their crummy life? Why should they trust their current crummy life? What are we going to do for them? I would much rather go with something like create an exceptional life or you can create an exceptional life. We talk about exceptional life in the book. This is telling them that they can do something about improving the quality of the life they have now, and we will teach them how. By adding the you can words, Reid can be happy. He likes the words you can in a title. Anyway, darling, think about this between now and when we talk on Wednesday. Talk to Reid about it too. Must have a title that has meaning and that grabs people, that makes them say, I want this book now, so they'll do what's in it.
I love it. That's awesome. I need
Yep.
that for my writer's workshop. Teach people about titles.
Yes, yes. I'll send you a copy of that. Um, and then she sent me this email and it said, Dear Cheryl, this brought a tear to my eye, brings tears to my eyes. Somebody wrote to her and said, I wanted to tell you that I kicked it old school and walked into a Barnes and Noble yesterday to purchase You Can Create an Exceptional Life. I was with my 4-year-old son and we had a great time hanging out there in the kids section. I've done a lot of work, but it is time for me to really walk my talk and take things to the next level by practicing this work more consciously. This book is so ideal for me and so many others at this time. Right after reading this section on kids, I decided to change my strategy with my son at bedtime tonight. I told him how we are so appreciative of how he cooperates and goes to bed so easily and takes his bath. Then, the next thing I knew, he was asking me if it was bath time and he ran upstairs. My husband and I high-fived and will continue to read and practice the simplicity of this work. Isn't that great?
Love that. That's amazing. That's
Yep.
so cool. That's true too. They probably, man, it's amazing how many things can change just by these simple things that she taught. So.
I know. I mean, your whole life has changed as a result of like
Yeah, well, definitely. Like I always tell everyone, like, so for me, I like talk to Louise every day pretty much for 25 years. So it was like a whole different thing. So it was, I always say I got it all from osmosis by being by Louise and Wayne Dyer and you and all the people in the at the I Can Do It's, all the different authors over the years, and the next thing you're saying stuff like you guys say. So
that's right. That's
your
right.
friends say something, you go, "Oh, what about this?" And you go, "Oh, wait a second." So it's like it's not like I sat down to decide to do it, but over all the years, it started getting more and more that like I was able to put it into my life for sure. So
I remember too, because Wayne died on August 30th, right?
yeah.
And then Louise died on August 30th.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
remember when you called me that day to tell me, I remember you said, I want you to know that Lulu passed last night. And please, please don't die on August 30th.
Yeah.
Because I've already lost two important people in my life. You better not like, you better stick around. We were both like, you better stick around. You better stick around.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
but
I
I think
know now I always say that like they just made it easy for me, so it's the same day I can remember when
there you go. There you
because
go.
at first that we thought Wayne passed away on August 29th, but it really like when they figured out when it was like 2 in the morning on August 30th. So but yeah, it's been 8 years since Louise passed away and 10 years for Wayne. So they were 2 years apart.
Yeah, I'm remembering when somebody sent me a link to there was a video of Louise and I teaching, and I started to watch it, and I had to stop because it was just, it's just, I think because I've had a lot of loss over the last year and a half, so it's still kind of tender, but watching it, it just, boy, when you watch somebody on video that's no longer here, they're like, it just brings it all back. And
Yeah. I love watching, like, we have tons of Wayne videos on our YouTube too, so I like watching them both, like,
yeah.
on there because it just, like, reminds me of them and all that. It seems like they're both still here, when you watch it.
Exactly, exactly. So you've really taken like this YouTube channel and just it's become like kind of a Hay House library, right?
Yeah, so we're just putting, like, all the old videos from I Can Do It, so tons of them,
Oh, yeah.
over the years. And, we have, I don't even know how many we have, but
Oh,
like people are loving it. So it's like
yeah.
all different things we're putting up there. And there's tons of like Louise stuff. And we have less of Louise because she didn't like, she kind of did all her speaking before we started videoing everything. I mean, other than you and her together,
Yeah.
there's not that much of just Louise, but.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people don't realize when you asked me to do the book with Louise, Louise wasn't speaking.
No.
It had been, I think, what, 20 years?
Yeah, so she took off. So it was 15 years ago that you guys did the book, but she took off from Hay House from the time she was 65 to 75. And
Okay.
so she didn't do it like any speaking or anything public.
Yes.
Like she was still part of Hay House, but not like out giving speeches or anything.
Right,
Like
right.
she would come to the office or I would go visit her really 90% of the time. And then and then you guys, when you guys did the book, then she went and spoke with you. She used to open some of the I Can Do It, I think from like 75 till then. She would like be the MC a little bit or introduce people or she came to a lot of them. Like,
Did. And I remember, so she would do the introductions, but she was really kind of nervous to be.
no, she was, yeah. I mean,
Right,
she never did like an hour until you two did it
right.
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, because she hadn't spoken in a long time, and then she started to do the, introducing. She'd go out for like 5 minutes, say hello to everybody.
Yeah,
People would be thrilled to see her, but she was like, "I'm not doing anything on stage." Then we wrote the book together, and then I'm sure you and I together cooked up some kind of, because we were always doing that,
yeah,
some kind of like you know, hey, Lulu, what do you think about maybe just doing a discussion with Cheryl for an hour? And we had
yeah.
established such a good relationship that she agreed, and then she did it and loved it.
Yeah, she loved it. It was fun
And
and it was easy, obviously, because there was no pressure because you were there. You could always talk for the whole hour if you needed to. So,
I know that's true, right? But it's true. I mean, she began to trust that, you know, it was going to be okay. And that, as a matter of fact, I remember one time, I was going to say, I don't know if you were there, but you were at all the I Can Do It's. I remember
yeah, I
we
was
were
at
in
everything.
Pasadena together. I can
Yeah,
remember that theater. It was like an unusual theater. It was sort of dark and small.
yeah,
Just before Louise and I were supposed to go on to kind of open the show, and she was feeling anxious. I think she was getting close to the time where she was going to start to come off the road. I
Yeah,
was feeling
yeah,
anxious, and we had like a couple thousand people in the audience waiting to
yeah.
see us. And I'm behind stage with her, and the last thing you want to do as a speaker is go out by yourself when everybody wants to see Louise. I mean, and I remember being backstage and thinking, I remember thinking, Reid, thank God I was the oldest of seven kids, because when the shit hit the fan, I was trained to rise to the occasion. And so I said to Louise, don't worry, I'm going to take care of you. And we went out on stage, and I immediately started teaching the audience how to do tapping so that Louise would do the
uh,
tapping with me. And I chose anxiety because it's such a great generalized topic.
yeah, that's
I was,
awesome.
what people didn't know was that I was tapping for Louise
Yeah,
with the whole audience. And within 10 minutes, she was totally fine, and we were back to doing our normal routine together.
that's amazing. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I was there, but like I was running around
Yeah,
everywhere.
you
I
were
don't
probably
know.
running around. No, I remember when we finished, we came off stage because I remember Nancy came up to me and said, "Oh my God, I can't believe you just pulled that out of the hat like that." I said, "Honey, it was completely on the fly. Get
Yeah,
out, let's use tapping." So anyway, how about if we open it up for some questions?
sure.
Want to do that? All right, everybody. So um feel free, Terry, we can go ahead and open the chat and let's see. Yeah, so Carrie, your director of audio is here saying that the book is
Okay, yeah.
yeah, it's on Audible. It's available on Audible, Spotify. Yeah, it's available everywhere, I assume, right, Reid?
Yeah, it is. And we also have the Hay House app, audio app, and it has everything of Louise on there. So Hay House, she had put the link in there, hayhouse.com/app, and that has every audio of Louise ever. So
Yes. So Marta wants to know, is this new book a revised version of the one published? It's not a brand new book. It's a revised. So I'm reading the actual book, but I'm adding to it as we go along. And then what I also did was a series of affirmation meditations. So they're sort of, it's kind of like 5-minute breaks where you can and they're set apart in the audio. So you'll be able to, let's say you get the audio from Audible, you'll be able to see where they are. So that anytime you can just open the app, go to that particular affirmation meditation, take a 5-minute break during the day or at night. And because I think I do one for sleep, like all different topics. And you can just go ahead and do a 5-minute meditation, which is me just repeating some of the affirmations we used all the time. Reid, will there be any more live I Can Do It's, do you think?
I don't think I don't maybe you know what? There might be one last one because I'm thinking about doing it for Louise's 100th birthday, which would be next year, and inviting like you and Bruce Lipton and Greg and like
Oh,
all the old
love
time
that.
people. So I just thought of that like yesterday or the other day when I was taking a shower. I always have ideas like
Yeah.
that. And
Oh, Reid, I would love that. And like, if you're going to do it, let's get the date sooner rather than later,
yeah, well, it'd be October 8th or right near
right near there.
October 8th. Yeah, we'd probably do it on the weekend, but I don't know. And then so I'm thinking about that as the
Yeah.
last one that we do. So,
Yeah. Because I don't know if people know that you did end up, in an effort to preserve Louise's legacy, you ended up selling Hay House to
Penguin Random House. Yeah.
and Random House, and they in turn allowed you to keep Hay House completely intact and separate from the big publishing firm, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Which is
It's
great. So
all,
you were able to maintain all your employees,
yeah.
operate the way you always have, because I'm sure you're the kind of maverick that they want to learn from there.
Well, they say they love entrepreneurs, but we test their patience sometimes.
You do. I bet you do. I think that's a great idea. I would be there in a heartbeat, and you don't have to pay me a dime. I think we could get everybody to show up and just,
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking, that just invite people and have them come and do it, and then we'll s- get all the whatever 3,000 people in the thing, and then stream it around the world, kind
oh,
of thing. All like it'll be a low cost for the people that come, but all the live people could watch it. So we'll come up with something. I just thought of it literally a couple days ago, but that's the
Yeah,
direction I'm gonna definitely do something for the 100th year.
yeah, that's a great idea.
So I think.
Um, did Louise have a connection with Ram Dass? Do you know, Reid?
Well, we did at Hay House, like, so Wayne Dyer had a connection with them, and like literally at Hay House, we ended up raising all the money to buy Ram Dass his house in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah, so like when he had his stroke or whatever, and he had like some financial problems, and we literally raised all the money with Wayne through Hay House. It was all through Hay House, but it was Wayne and Hay House raised the money and gave it all to him. So
Wow, isn't that
yeah,
great? That's great. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
yeah,
You've always been so incredibly generous in that way. You, Louise, like, always think. I still remember the time, remember when we were teaching Speak, Write, and Promote together. Reid and I taught this, really was like a 2.5 day workshop for authors and business people who wanted to build a large multimedia platform. And we traveled all over doing that. And I can't remember what city we were in, but I remember when Waking Up in Winter came out, my book that was not published with Hay House, it was published with Harper One.
yeah,
And we were teaching Speak, Write, and Promote together. I think that weekend the book had come out. And you announced to the audience that, I mean, it makes me want to cry when I think about it, that you announced to the audience that you were buying there were like 150 people in the audience. You were buying everyone in the audience my book from Amazon,
yeah,
that it would count towards the New York Times list. And you literally had somebody go on friggin' Amazon and buy books for every attendee at that workshop, which
yeah.
just, those are the things you just never forget. One of the many mil, I mean, you've been, I'm gonna like cry when I think about, you've just been really good to me over the years, and I love you so much. You know that, like, not just because you've been good to me. Because we've been good friends for a long time.
Yeah, very long.
You've got such a big heart, and I really appreciate that about you. So, and Louise was like that too. I mean, some of the stories I heard, like I heard this story, Reid. I don't know if you knew this when we were in London together teaching that workshop. You know who told me this story was Eileen.
Oh yeah,
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 because Eileen, this is a mutual friend of ours. Eileen had been talking to Michelle over in London.
yeah, yeah.
When
They had lunch a lot,
Yeah,
so
they did. Eileen loved her, and Michelle loved Eileen. They were very,
yeah,
very close. And I remember Eileen telling me because we were working on a TV treat
yeah,
for a biopic about Louise when unfortunately she died, and then Eileen died. And
yeah,
and we were like, I was literally in the middle of talking with uh, a television network about an 8-part series on Louise's life, a fictional series. And one of the stories that had come out was when we were teaching in London, it was sold out. I think there were like 500 people. It sold out very quickly. There were no tickets and no space available.
yeah.
Um, and there was a group of women who came to see Louise before the workshop who couldn't get in, before the workshop, who had been sex workers, I think,
Hmm.
that whose lives she had changed. And they had asked if they could meet with her. And of course she agreed because you knew her. Like she always
Yeah.
said yes to things like that. And they had this most amazing meeting before our workshop together. Privately, she went to meet with them. Because I remember when I heard about it afterwards, I was like, are you kidding me? I would have asked 10 people to leave the work. Like I would have gone to 10 people's house and taught them a private workshop to give these women the seats in the room. But it all worked out. I mean, they got to meet with her privately. And, that's the kind of generosity that has always been a part of Hay House that I've really appreciated. Okay, back to questions.
Yeah, yeah. She always, when she gave her talks, she would, sign and give hugs to every single person until the last person. I remember we were in Ireland one time and we had like, it was her and Wayne Dyer together and we had like 5,000 people there. and literally like they both were there like signing books and hugging people for th 2 hours after the event. And the very last person in line like told her before the line started because it was so long, like they never thought she would be there at the end because and he said it like, if you wait until me, I'll give you a Guinness when I get there. And she literally he got her the Guinness and she did his book.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
such a classic. Oh my God. Like,
Classic Louise. Yep, without a
yeah.
doubt. Um, Somebody just wrote in here that they love, she says, I love my Louise Hay daily calendar. I give it to friends each year. That's one of the stories I tell in the audio recording of
Oh
the
yeah.
book about when
You do that too. You get
yes.
it.
Well, I went into Louise's house and she had all these gifts wrapped. And I said to her, what is that? She said, oh, darling, every year I have my calendar wrapped and we give them out. And I thought, what? I mean, this was how, I don't know, 10 years ago, Reid.
Yeah.
I thought, what a brilliant idea.
Well, that's way more than that. Like,
Well, no, but I mean, well, no, you're right. What am I saying? I don't know, time, 15 years ago. And so I remember thinking, what a great idea. And from that day forward, I would order 2 or 3 cases of the calendar. My assistant, Lisa, who is like Martha Stewart, wraps all of them individually with different, like everybody says they don't want to open them because they're so beautiful.
yeah.
And I give them to the bank teller, the grocery store, like I give them out everywhere. People now ask me, is the calendar coming? So this is for everybody. What are we? We're at October. Buy
Yeah.
your calendars now because they're going to sell out. I promise you.
Definitely. Yep. You can get them too. We already have them here. The next year one's
Oh,
right
let me
here.
because I haven't opened my box.
2026.
There you go. Good. Okay, good, good. I haven't opened my box yet. I just got 4 cases now. Because now my mother-in-law wants to do it. So she ordered a case and now she's doing it. What was the core reason Louise didn't speak in public for 20 years? Exhaustion and anxiety, probably. And she didn't need to. She took a break.
Yeah. Well, she did a lot of speaking and then she took some time off and
Yep. Yep. Let's see. Uh, yeah, people are just saying they would love to come to a celebration, Reid. So now
yeah,
you've
I
done
know
it.
I'm definitely going to do something. I just have to figure out what it is for
Now it has
the,
to be big enough that everybody can fit, or else it's going to suck.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we'll do it.
Okay, good. Where did Louise get all of her inspiration from?
I mean, well, she has a long, long, long story.
Oh, oh, that reminds me. I'm glad you said that. Somebody asked, "Is there an autobiography?" Reid, you can heal your life. You've got that behind you, Reid. Can you just grab that? I
Yeah.
think you do, right? I love this cover too, and Louise would love that cover too.
This
That
is the
tells us
gift. This is like the anniversary edition, the 40th year anniversary edition
pretty.
of it. Yeah. It's
That tells.
all color inside too.
Oh, I don't have a copy of that. I need to get that.
Also, we can send you one. Well, it came out last year because it's the
Oh,
last year was the fourth. She wrote this book before she started. Before she started Hay House, she wrote it in 1984.
yes.
So the 40th anniversary was last year. So last year on her birthday, it came out basically.
Well, and I tell the story also in this book about the writing, the making of that book. I mean, that book and this, You Can Create an Exceptional Life, I think both contain her life story in different ways.
Yeah.
And that's really, there's no formal autobiography because it's all in
Um,
here.
Yeah, she has like the last chapter of this book, she kind of tells about a little bit about her life story and everything in there. So, but there's never been like a whole like where she didn't want to do it because we asked her, like when we were thinking of stuff for her to do, but
Yeah.
she
He was
just
like, Reid, you're always thinking of stuff for me.
but she didn't want to like just there's too much stuff there, so she was ready just to let everyone know.
I would also say that Louise had a really tough childhood.
Yeah,
She had a very, very tough childhood. And um, knowing that, as I got to know her personally and intimately, um, her inspiration came from a lot of pain. It
Yeah,
came from a true desire from the get-go. I mean, Reid, you've known her longer than me, and I've known her a long time.
yeah,
She really wanted to help people. I mean, that's all she
yeah.
said was. It was like she knew her soul's purpose was to just be here and to help people, and that's what she did. So, okay.
Yeah, well, she didn't graduate from high school and she went on. She started Hay House when she was 60. So 1987, she was 60 years old. And that's when she started Hay House, which is unbelievable because I'm like 62 and I can't believe like 2 years ago I would have started Hay House,
I
like
know.
and then built it up from like we started with 3 books and 5 tapes and like whatever $1 million in sales and then it grew to be like one of the top 10 publishers in the United States. So like that's amazing, like really amazing.
It is, every now and then. So I'm 65 now, and I think, do I really want to start something? And then I think of Louise, right? And first of all, she just really followed her heart and her soul. And it's really, in a lot of ways, if she were here, she would say, I was about to start my second Saturn return, and it was time for me to do, to do something important in the world. And she also, by the way, Reid, did you know that she had a whole bunch of notes written about um, uh, ec- elder excellence or something like that? Did you ever?
Yeah, I mean, she was thinking about writing a book on it at one point, so
Yeah,
that doesn't surprise me. I don't think I ever saw it,
yeah. So
but
she sent me, I'll find it for you. She actually sent me about like 12,000 words
yeah.
of writing about aging. Now, it's
Yeah, because
different.
we were trying to get her to do it, and so
Yes,
she was probably she
yes.
never wanted to tell me because I probably would.
Yeah, you would have made her well, I just happened to find it when I was going through all the emails. She wanted me to see this. I didn't have a chance to read it. I started to, and I was like, look at this. But what it made me realize was 60 or 65 today is very different than what 60 was for Louise back then, because she
Oh
writes
yeah,
about this in the piece that she sent me, that 65 is really like 50 or something. I mean, it's time is so different. And I'm reminding myself of that as I think about the millions of different projects I dream about. Let's see.
get to going, Cheryl. Come on.
Reid, that's why I don't call you all the time because I know you're going to, we when I were smart, but I am going to call you. I am going to talk to you about some stuff. But anyway, let's see. Oh, somebody wants to know, am I going to do a retreat in Maine again? Oh, probably not. But I may do something different. I'm definitely not done teaching, and I'm not done teaching live because I love that so much. Let's see. So stay tuned. As long as you,
And so do you still, I know you're doing the workshops for smaller groups of people, like weekend ones, right? What are you doing?
yeah,
Or
that's what the retreats were. They were like for 50, sometimes up to 60 people.
yeah,
Now I've done Zoom gatherings and, it's kind of awesome because I can have 300 or 400 people at a time.
yeah,
But I do love live in person.
yeah.
And as you know, I just finished building a beautiful space that it's a much smaller space, but I'm debating about doing something there. I'm not sure yet, but I don't know. I trust life. Just like Louise would say, I trust life, and I know life has some plans, and I can feel them coming. Um, I just want to make sure I'm doing things for the right reason. Let's see. Does Reid still have? Oh, that reminds me, Reid. Will you just write down email list? Just put that down. I want to talk to you about something because somebody says, does Reid still have the email newsletters Louise used to send out every week? If so, have you ever thought about publishing them as a book?
Yeah. I mean, all the stuff in them, we are in all the other books. So, like, I mean, Donna used to help her write them all. So, like,
Donna is here. Hi, Donna.
she's here. So,
Um, yes. Okay. So let's see. Oh, and people are saying they love your newsletters, Reid.
Oh, that's very nice.
I do too. I love them so much. I love
Thank you.
how they
You're
got,
the inspiration. The reason I did them was because
I,
of you.
I forced you. Tell the truth.
Well, Donna did them for Louise, and then I took over it. But the way I wrote them was inspired by you, basically.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Um, let's see. Yeah, somebody wants to know, do I do any remote teachings on Zoom incorporating Louise and Wayne? You know, so much of their teaching, like you read, is just a part of my natural life.
Yeah,
Like every day I can hear, like if I go to say to Michael, my husband, honey, don't forget, I can hear Louise go, no, 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 dear, please remember.
remember
Right?
exactly.
Or I'm looking forward to, what would she say? Oh, I can't, I would say, I can't wait for, and she'd say, no, 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 my dear, I'm looking forward to. She was always like correcting language and, you know, it's just, I think both her and Wayne, God, Wayne was like just, sometimes I'll catch, on YouTube, a video of him telling one of his famous stories. And I just think this guy's energy lives on,
Yeah. I
he,
mean, we have all of them on our YouTube thing. Here's my phone. Check this out. Like, here's like my favorites on my phone. I don't know if you guys can see it, but Wayne, my wife, Christina, and Louise are the top
yeah,
three.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
So for 10 years, I left them all there. So
Oh. Somebody wants to know what's the best way to order the calendars, especially if they wanted to order like a case versus just one or two.
yeah, I mean, the main place everyone orders them is on Amazon, to be honest. Like, I mean, if you have a store or something like that, you can order them. But it's not, since we don't really do orders like for individuals, like bulk orders and things
Yeah,
like that anymore.
right.
So the best place, and honestly, like since Amazon usually discounts everything and everything like that. So
Get it better. Somebody also says, I also take the calendar pages and put them in my office all over, including the bathroom. Totally. I have a stack of calendar pages. I've kept them over the years. Usually when I would do retreats, they were always in the back of the room in a basket and people were invited to take them. I sometimes put them in, with my self-care cards still in a few birthday cards because I still send paper cards and
yeah.
kind of paper mail. I use that. Okay, we're almost done. Let me just looking for any last questions. I attended the last birthday celebration. I saw Louise and Cheryl in Vancouver. All right, Reid, do you remember Vancouver?
I mean, I remember I was there we were there more than once. So
So here's a great little story. We can finish with this. I mean,
okay.
um, for years, Reid had been coaching me.
Oh yeah,
You
okay. I
know,
didn't know which city that was in.
yeah, it was
Go
Vancouver.
ahead.
Is like, yeah. So Vancouver. For years, Reid had been coaching me. Cheryl, stop teaching and giving information and just tell stories. People remember stories, they don't remember teaching. And I'd be like, yeah, yeah, you're right, you're right. And then go right back to teaching and giving information and steps and all that stuff. For years, I mean, I swear to God, it was 10 years you would tell. Finally, in Vancouver, we're doing an I Can Do It. And Janine Roth was speaking. Do you remember? She was at that one.
Yeah, I remember she was there.
And I really love Janine's work. I'm a big fan of her writing. And she went on before me and she just basically told stories and was funny and vulnerable and as only an Enneagram 4 can be. And I remember sitting in the audience watching her and I literally just tore up any of my notes for my talk. I got on stage and I think I started my talk by talking about something Janine had said that had really like hit me hard. And then from there, I just told stories the whole time. It was the longest book signing line I ever had. And I remember you came up to me in the book signing line, you kissed me on the cheek and
Yeah.
you just said, you finally told stories. We don't have any of your books or card, like anybody, and the line is out the door. if you had just listened to me and from that day forward, I never ever did teaching again. And I can't tell you how many times I have said that to people, Reid, that
Yeah.
stories
Well,
and
you do teaching, you just did it in stories.
that's
That's
right.
the difference. It's not you did that you didn't teach.
That's right. That's exactly right. And people do remember stories. We remember now when I read books, if they don't have stories and examples, I kind of get pissed. I'm like, come on. Well, because that's how we remember, you know? Um,
Definitely.
okay, so I'm just looking real quickly. Yeah, so many stories about Louise and people with AIDS. I mean, she was amazing. We could do like another one of these. There was so many great stories about her. Reid, thank you for inviting me to, thank you for putting that idea in my head so long ago. And
Yeah, thank you for doing the audio. It's amazing. Everyone's gonna love it. It just came out, so
I
like
know
literally
today's,
today is the day, or yesterday.
yeah, yeah. So it's available. I hope people like it. I hope Louise, wherever you are, I can hear her going, darling, it's perfect.
Yeah, she loves it. So great to see you, Cheryl. I
Yeah,
mean,
good to
we
see
talk a lot.
you.
I don't really see you much, so
I
good to see
know.
you.
All right, we'll talk. We'll see each other again soon. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm so appreciative that you were here. This is being recorded. It will be up on our website probably within 24 hours. So
Awesome.
and you'll find it right on the homepage where it says Exploring the Wisdom Years. You'll see it right there. Click through and we'll have any resources in addition to the recording, so you'll be able to find it. And Terry, we can put the video up of Reid and I. We might as well do that because usually we just do the audio, but let's let everybody see all the hearts coming up on the
Yeah, do
screen.
it. Let's go.
All right, everybody.
And you can all go watch Cheryl and Louise at the Hay House YouTube. It's so worth it to see,
Okay.
It's so cool. I love it.
Thank you, honey. Thank you, everybody. Mwah. See you soon. We'll do another Zoom gathering soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.